Well, it's the amazing Garry Marshall, who is probably the most beloved figure in Hollywood. Really, I mean, we lost him about a year and a half ago or so, and I don't remember a person that I've seen that is more beloved than him. He also was beloved, and he treated everyone that worked with him like they were his children and his best friend. And I was, again, another fluky situation with Disney where, thank you, Disney, where the head of music, they were going to do this movie with an unknown actress named Anne Hathaway. Very, very, very unknown. And it was, going to be one of those kind of Disney-esque, beautiful, frilly. I think I'd read the script, and I remember the head of music at the time asked me to go meet Garry Marshall. I said, of course, let's go meet Garry Marshall. What a thrill. So we went up to where they were shooting up in Sierra Madre. They're shooting at a little school up there. I'll never forget. The first scene I ever saw of that movie was I peeked in. They were shooting a classroom scene with Anne Hathaway and her fellow students. And there was Anne Hathaway, this young girl doing a scene. And I knew in the first minute of that take that she was going to be a star. I said, my God, who is this girl? So they, cut, and then Garry walked out, and my friend, the head of music, introduced me to Garry. He goes, oh, yeah, you're the music guy. He goes, I heard your stuff. It's good. It's good. What are you doing? We're doing this movie here. And, it's about a girl, and she becomes a princess or something, whatever he said. And he just immediately, I think in the first minute or so, he said, yeah, I mean, it needs some music. Well, why don't you do this thing? Why don't you do this music thing with me, And he hired me right on the spot. Sorry for the bad impression, but... And that started a 15-year or so odyssey with this man that I loved. And he treated every film as though it was his child, and everybody that worked for him as they were his children. And we just had a ball. We had a ball. I always tell the story where even when Garry didn't like a piece of music, he'd be sitting right in here, and I could tell when he didn't like, I'd look at it and he'd go, it should be peppy. It's got to be peppy in this scene. So that was his kind of his French for maybe not wild about the cue. Maybe it should be peppier. It should be a little faster. It should have. And he also used to tell me he didn't like flutes. He goes, the flutes, not so wild about the flute. Snare drum I like. But he'd say the flute, the flute gets high. And they've got these ladies talking, and they're all high. Maybe you should have a bassoon or something. And that's the way we communicated. And it was with love. And we would go to these scoring sessions and just play this glorious music. He would just let me write a theme, and which, by the way, is can be a rare thing. Garry wanted nothing but a great theme that he could play for his wife, and and then. After a number of films, the main themes became his gift to his wife he would give, and he'd frame them up. And he was just that guy. We all miss him terribly, but he was rare and special and just a gift.